Hey folks, this is Ben Yessel. I'm just spending some time with my parents this weekend, and I thought I'd make a quick video here about um, why can't I remember? I can't remember his name. So well, the gentleman who again was killed in Minneapolis, the black guy, and I've just spent the last few hours responding to tons of YouTube uh, comments. Um, More especially from a guy, again, who I can't remember his name offhand, who had a lot of great points to make, but one point that I didn't entirely agree with. And I have some feelings and, thoughts, and I'm going to try to share them and have this video not go too long. And they go something like this. In my life, I've personally been I've been called many things, or I've been thought of in many different ways. And most of the time, it hasn't really stuck too much. It was very easy for me to know what things were truer and what things were false that people were saying. And most of the time, there's a lot of falsehood. It's all stuff directed at me. The reason I start with this subject is because it's important to know what's true and false about oneself, and the more you can do that for your own self, the better you can kind of know what's true and false outside of yourself or what in the world. So, and like you could just be sensitive about some subjects, and you can just have some distortions, and one of our goals in life is to understand ourselves better. We don't understand ourselves as well as maybe God understands us, but we certainly do know when someone is saying something that's hitting us more in our core. There's more truth to what someone's saying, and it hurts sometimes. It really does. But even if something is true about us that we would want to improve on, or it's not so good, it's not such a good thing that we're hearing, the important thing is that it's what we do after we hear that. And many times we might be more disposed to do whatever it is that is not right, even more because we really dislike the person that said whatever was wrong with whatever we were doing. But we know when something's right and wrong. I don't know why people have to debate this right and wrong thing so much. Usually it's not a debate about if something is right or wrong. Usually the debate is how wrong something is or right something is. But you can there are acts that there is a complexity to morality, of course. But it's more about the details of many acts. I'm starting with this moral thing because it's just, when it comes to justification, the idea of justifying looting, vandalism, you cannot take something like that seriously if you are neglecting another aspect of society. I mean, if a person neglects the need for law and order in a society, and the need for um, food, businesses, legitimate business, you have to say, oh, these are important, and we need these things, and fair prices, and all that stuff. You have to have that train of thought, while also considering the hopelessness that many people feel about their condition, whether they're a certain race or not, or whether they have other situations like, you name it. Of course, we're not talking just about race regarding oppressed people in the world, quote unquote. It's ridiculous. It's um, if you ignore things that are of a moral nature when you're looking at an issue that can be moral, you're going to make an erroneous judgment. We could have a society where everything we have is in common. We don't have to have money anymore, but we involve bartering or involve some kind of trade of something. This is what we do. We trade. And if you have nothing, then those who have something should help that person who has nothing until that person can have some things. And that's how we should do things. You can call it the United Order. It's something that my church talked about this a little bit. But we need stuff, and we need a healthy economy, which, there's a lot of things involved with that, but it's looting and vandalism do not help. So what can be done to cause there to be less violence that is committed by police against black people? Because that's one of the main things we're talking about. Well, in my opinion, cops need to be more principled. You have to have people in those positions of power. You need to have them be people of integrity. Because if they're not, it isn't just violence against black people that's your problem. It's literally everything. It's the entire law enforcement thing. It's everything you can think of that affects society regarding good and evil and laws. It's the whole system. Cops must have integrity. They must be people of character. They must be benevolent. They must become cops from a desire to serve and protect, not to hurt and oppress. A cop can hide the bad things in their character. Sure. On some level we all do, but instead of hiding it, we ultimately we'll try to we all want to destroy. We all want to destroy any evil. How can I put this? We all want any evil in our character to cease. That should be our goal. It isn't that we always will have light and darkness in our character. It's not that. It is ultimately that one or the other will ultimately triumph, or if we choose to always be somewhere in the middle, then that's how it's going to be. We'll never be as happy as those who are filled with light and joy. So that should be our goal, is to be filled with light and joy. It's just kind of late, folks. I'm sorry I can't remember this guy's name. But I've been reading a lot of comments, like I say on YouTube. I'm reading a lot of very confused comments. The reason why people are confused and saying dumb things is because it's emotional. Race is an emotional subject. And everybody needs to keep their sense of what's right and wrong very much in their minds. It is firstly about what's right and wrong. Then, after you get your moral bearings again, after you confirm what it is right and wrong, only at that point you go on to so how are these people feeling? How are these different people? Why are they acting a certain way? You can get into psychology, you can get into all the other stuff, but you have to start with right and wrong. And if you don't start with right and wrong, you're just going to make confused comments. People are going to argue with you. You can argue with them if you're so inclined. So what do I think, again, black people need to do? It's what we all need to do. It's not just black people. We need to not have any tolerance for tyranny. No tolerance for tyranny. And not just that, we need to, with anything in our power, anything in each of our power, every single person who has any degree of what's actually happening regarding those people in high positions that are the author of what's happening, really causing these things to happen, and expose them, fight them. We all need to fight them. And who am I talking? Who's them? Well, it's the folks that never go punished. It's the folks that keep doing these things that are wrong, that are never punished. We never know who they are. We never know what they've done. But it's ultimately the reason why everything is messed up on this world. And it's the Illuminati, but you can call it many other things. It's all the same group of people, ultimately. So it's everybody that's involved with what the devil wants, Satan wants. And with mentioning the Illuminati, it's those people that are in positions of power, a real power and influence in the world. We wonder why so many people are exploited. It's easy to say that Europeans and Asians dominate everybody. Eurasians dominate Latin America and Africa and everywhere else, largely. It's easy to say that. It's harder to go beyond that, because it isn't the fault of Eurasians. It's just that you've had for many certain reasons, I know the reasons, you have majority of power in the world, like political, military, socioeconomic power centered in Eurasia. And there are a small number of people, small number, mind you, primarily in those areas, but principally, I think, in my opinion, Israel and Europe. But that's another. But it's the Zionists, right? They have a lot of power, and it's just a small numbers of people that are really at the heart of what's really going on with all this stuff. It's deception after deception, secrecy after secrecy. It just never ends. Our hats should be off to those people that are discovering things, even if they're not brought to justice. People that are not brought to justice yet. This is the fight that needs to happen. It's not a racial conflict. In a sense, it's not even a religious one, although in another sense it is. It's a moral fight. It's a fight between good and evil. And if anyone believes it's actually a racial fight, if anyone honestly believes that one race is all angelic and godly and the different one is evil, demonic, and that train of thought is the doctrine of demons. I do not believe that. And I think it's important to make that point here, because if we are talking about race, you're going to have a lot of racism come out of this stuff. The way not to be that way yourself, or myself, is to not give that idea any place in your soul, in my soul. We are all children of God. Every single race is loved of God. We are all equal worth and value. Now, there are many things about race that only God understands, that we don't fully understand yet, that we might have our own opinions about. But we're not talking about that so much here because we don't know these things yet. We can speculate as much as we want to, but it doesn't change the fact that we're all children of God. And if you honestly believe that, Africans are apes, or, you honestly believe that blue-eyed people are all devils, and you're determined to believe that, there's nothing I can say to deter you from that train of thought, I suppose. But it's as I said before, it's vital that you go over your own morality before you. Well, if you want to have these conversations be something of worth, something to help you be a better person, I suppose, then to that extent, that's why you need to review your own morality before getting into this stuff. Because it can be a little confusing. People are saying all kinds of crazy things right now. Maybe many of us don't want to read them because it's so distressing and crazy. So who's the author of all this, by the way? Well, of course it goes without saying it's Satan. A lot of people think, oh, it's just humans, it's just the way we are. It's just, there's no real reason. It's just, it is what it is. But no, it actually, the author of all this confusion is Satan. Not just confusion about the subject, but a lot of other subjects. Some subjects, we just don't know everything yet. But other subjects, we are being misled a lot of times. In the title of this video, I'll try to put this guy's name. I want to say George or Frank or something. I don't know why I can't remember his name. All right. Leave me the thoughts, comments below. Catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.